It's always a little bit worrying when you've been away for a week and you're never quite sure what you're going to come back to on the plot. It's been quite a dry week as well, so I'm a bit worried that quite a few things have died off, but it's not looking too bad. Things still seem to be alive, which is always a good sign, and the sunflowers are still out in full bloom, which is great. So today we're going to crack on, get as many jobs done as I can. Quite a bit of maintenance work to do, and we'll find out how things are growing, particularly the things in here as well. Thank you so much to everyone that took the time to comment on the squash. I've been looking at the flowers, and one of them's actually just broken off there, which isn't great, but I've been assessing whether it's got the little rounded bit or a slightly longer bit to work out if they are male or female. For now I'm going to leave them. I don't think they're quite ready to... let's just open this up. I'm not sure if they're quite ready to pollinate yet or not. I'll leave them a little bit longer, probably one more week, and if that's not happening, then I might have to give it a try by hand. But for now they seem to be still going quite strong, and the pumpkins are stretching right across here. They're beginning to head up the arch, so that's quite a good sign. And also the cucumbers are doing really well. I've got one nice big cucumber there which I might harvest towards the end of today. Unfortunately, it looks like my peppers have been slightly eaten by slugs, I presume. I've been off. This one that I thought was going to be really good has got a great big hole in the top, and they're also taking their time to change colour. Some of them are going slightly black, like that one there. I'm not sure if that's because it's slowly turning red or if the black is a bad sign, but certainly having a hole in it is not a good sign. And the other one, let's see if I can grab that one, is also not looking great. Plus they're getting a bit heavy for their pots, but this one has been even more slug eaten. Well, actually the big one's not too bad, although it looks like it's going a little bit rotten potentially there, and all the little ones have been eaten into, so it's really disappointing because I was excited to have the peppers, and the same thing's happening on the chilies as well. I might have to try and think of some sort of pest control to stop them from being destroyed. Done some crazy things in my time, but I think this might be the craziest. I was reading that you're supposed to use an electric toothbrush on your tomatoes to help them grow. Well, actually, I don't think it was on the tomatoes. I think you're supposed to do it on the flowers, and it helps to spread to spread the pollen. Well, I'm not sure how accurate that is, but the good news is that we've got some nice ripe tomatoes coming on here, although some of the leaves are looking a bit dead because I'm not sure this because they haven't been watered for a while. I'm going to pick these off. This one is actually doing the best out of all of them, and this was a really cheap tomato plant that I got from the garden centre, which I almost threw out, and it's ended up producing some good fruits. Let's get rid of all of those. Tidies it up a little bit. Good. I'm pleased with that. There's even some coming on the top as well. Maybe the toothbrush is a good idea. The hanging cucumber is still alive and well. It's actually looking fairly healthy, certainly better than the other one. But there's no fruits coming yet, quite a lot of flowers, so there will be fruits. And it's beginning to travel along the top here. So what I might do is add a bit of netting across that bar, and then that will help support the fruit as it grows. And then I also want to try and pick some of these aubergines. I'm not sure if, well, I mean that one looks too small, but these ones, although they're a lighter colour, I think that is as big as they get. So I'm really not sure what to do. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to take one of these. if I can break it off. Might need some scissors. Good. It feels kind of soft. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be like, aubergines, to be honest. Let's take that one as well. And then it leaves these other ones to have a bit more oomph from the plant. There is another one of these actually, which has got some more purpley ones on it. Let me just grab that. This one here, which is desperate for water. In fact, a lot of these dead leaves need to come off, but the fruit is looking more how I'd expect it to look. Certainly that one there. Let's grab that one. That looks better. And that feels more like I would expect it to feel. Good, that's nice. 3 little aubergines there. I'm not sure how these are going to taste, if they taste like the bigger ones or not. Just put that one back. I don't want to get too overexcited, but after all of last year's troubles I had with trying to grow pumpkins, I've just noticed down here that there could actually be a tiny pumpkin. I don't believe it. Growing pumpkins actually works, it's not just a myth. That seems to be the only one on there. And it's very small at the moment, so it's got a long way to go, but there is a pumpkin on there, which is fantastic. So many great suggestions last week with regards to the carrots. What I'm going to try and do today is just pull one, see what they look like. Well, there's one, you can't see it, but there's one really big one. Well, I don't know how big it is, but it's just sticking out the ground. So I'm going to pull that one, see what it looks like. And then the others I'm going to top up with a little bit more compost, just so the crowns aren't sticking out the ground. There's a weed in there, let's get that out. Because I don't want anything getting in the way of these carrots' growth. But here we go. Do we need a drum roll? Oh. It's not great. This is what I don't believe this with carrots. You never get like what you buy in the supermarket. But it's a carrot. It looks like a carrot. It's just got a little twisty end. So hopefully hopefully that's not what's set to come on the others. As I say, the others are much deeper, with no crowns. Well, no crowns showing out of the ground. So yeah, let me get some more compost to fill that up, and at least there's something. I can have that for my dinner. Just got to give these plenty of water because they are looking a bit dry. That could be what's stopping them from going deep into the ground. Right, we'll come back and try those in a couple of weeks' time. Hopefully they'll be a bit bigger and a bit straighter. The onions that I planted last week have not done great. I thought onions were the one thing that slugs didn't like to eat, but it looks like they've been demolished, and the dry weather hasn't helped, and then something's dug this one up, which is not great news. So I'm a bit disappointed there. A few weeds coming through here again. I might need to rethink that, or maybe even sow a fresh batch. I mean, there's one or two, there's a couple there, a couple there. These ones down this end don't seem to be doing quite so bad. But it is a bit disappointing. I thought they might have established in these 2 weeks, but they haven't. They've basically been eaten. Oh well, you can't win them all. My grapes, on the other hand, are something that are doing really quite well. They're a little bit small yet, but I'm going to just try one today, because they were about this size in September last year, and then before I knew it, they disappeared, or they all died off. Well, there was nowhere near this many last year. Tastes a little bit dry. A little bit dry, but it's getting there. Quite sweet, much sweeter than you'd get in the supermarket. They're quite nice. A little bit longer, a little bit more sun on them, and I think they'll be ready. I'm keeping that cut back so the sun can get through to them, and hopefully, I reckon by the end of August, should have some good grapes there. So I do have a slight problem, well, a little bit of a disaster actually. My worst nightmare has occurred on the Brassicas. Inside the net is a cabbage fly, and it's my own fault because I've left a great big gap down here, and it's managed to get in there. I can't see any eggs yet, and I can't see, there's a tiny hole there as well, there's two of them. I can't see any eggs, and I can't see any caterpillars yet, but I'm fairly certain they will be on their way. I think it's only this side that they got into. And there's no heads on these yet. I think the other side is still okay, although this one also looks like the net's been broken slightly. It's my lesson learnt for next year. I need to build a proper structure over this, much higher, give them much more space. I can probably get some slightly bigger rows in there as well for next year. But that's disappointing. By the time I come back, I think that will be full of caterpillars. My other concern at the moment, well, I'm not overly concerned, but I'm a little bit concerned, is my corn. I know I said it should be knee-high in July, but I also keep seeing loads of people on social media harvesting their corn already, or at least they got the tassels, whereas I don't have anything at all on this corn yet. I mean, it looks good and healthy and strong, but it's just not growing any tassels at all. There's not even any sign of any cobs coming, so I really don't think that's going to happen in time. I guess a question to you, like, can you still harvest corn through to September? And if so, I might be alright 2 more months, but otherwise I don't think it's going to make it in time, which is a shame. There are still some good sunflowers though. Next year I might make this a sunflower bed, just have loads of sunflowers, and then I can cut some sunflowers. But yeah, I was hoping for corn. Pumpkins and corn were always the two things. Pumpkins, corn and rhubarb. Well, I got the rhubarb, I got the pumpkin, but I can't get the corn to grow. Might have to be another challenge for next year. Something a little bit gruesome I have just spotted. There's a dead rat down here in this bed. It's disgusting. I'm going to go and bury this. That puts me off really wanting to harvest anything out of this bed, but make sure I give it a good wash. Just noticed something's dug a really deep hole down there as well, which is a bit odd. Obviously there's been some activity going on around here, but I do want to harvest these cucumbers, so I'm actually not going to be around for most of the next week either, so I want to make sure I get these, take these home before something else gets them and eats them. These are a slightly different variety. Oh, this is a huge one here. This is a slightly different variety to the telegraph pole ones, which were nice because they are more like the ones in the supermarket, but these ones are a bit more spiky, although they tend to taste better. I'm going to take those two, and I will enjoy those for my lunch, I think. Well, I wasn't planning on this turning into a harvest video this week, but that's what's happened, so it's been pretty good. Got one slightly odd-shaped carrot. Managed to get one pepper, a little bit small and a little bit slug-eaten, but I will certainly eat that, and 2 cucumbers. They don't look too bad. 3 mini aubergines and a handful of tomatoes. First tomatoes of the season, so they are hopefully going to be tasting very good. Right, that's it from me today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for everyone that joined from the last video. I was shocked by how many people decided to view that. It was great to see. So thank you to everyone that clicked like and subscribe, and I will catch you all again very soon. Have an amazing week.